made it sound like.
Sure. But yeah, so now going for the game itself. The game is Frankie Muniz played Domino. That's funny. That's interesting.
Fun fact again.
You know he's a NASCAR driver now?
He is?
Yeah.
Good for him, I guess.
He wanted to go race cars, so he's racing cars. Good for him.
Good for him.
Hey, he actually was.
Voice
He was
acting a dog to
no. He went from being Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, that's who he was?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He was Agent Cody Banks.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that one.
He was a lot of things.
I never saw the movie, but I always saw the commercial/trailer for it. But they never played the freaking movie.
So he actually did pretty good in NASCAR. Hey guys, I'm Bill, a one-time Instagram vlogger and now a podcaster.
And I'm Alex, the chaotic neutral.
And together we are the Gaming and Collecting Podcast.
A brother-sister duo.
That talks about gaming.
And also anime.
And don't forget the collecting, sometimes.
Forget it. We're just a nostalgia podcast at this point.
But anyways, guys, thanks for joining us as we discuss the games that shaped us.
Why did you do that? I wasn't ready. I didn't say 3. How dare you?
So, how you been?
I was doing a countdown, and Bill didn't respect the countdown. Bill, what do you have to say for yourself?
It was funny.
Shook some water at you.
That's your new favorite channel on the server.
It is. And guess what? I have a co-host. I'm going to start my podcast called Water Bottles Plus Nutritional Facts with Snickerman.
Lovely.
It's happening. Bill, make a logo. Please make it the most garbage looking logo you've ever seen.
Maybe at some point.
Bill got to see Pooster today.
I did.
AKA Tilly, my cat.
Alex bought a soundboard, but she's missing some cables, so we're going to have to...
No. I didn't buy a soundboard. Our wonderful mother gifted it me as an early birthday gift for me. So
True.
Thank you, Mother. That was very kind of you. You didn't have to do that. And she gifted us snow shovels, which was also very kind of her. So thank you, Mother. You didn't have to do that, but it is very appreciated.
Yep, that's true. There was another car accident after work today.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, the highway was backed up all the way to the merge.
Oh yeah, I missed that. So it literally happened right before I think I got there. So I think I got by before it got chaotic.
Yeah, it was bad. There was a tow truck trying to get through, but he was like honking at everybody, and no one was letting him through.
Oh, that fucking sucks. Sorry, Mr. Tow Truck Man. He wasn't there when I was.
The problem is, the accident happened in the worst possible place.
Yeah.
Because it was literally at the spot where everyone's trying to get over, right where he's trying to get through.
Yeah. It was a bad spot. But I mean, also, it was a very made sense to me spot that there was an accident there. Because
there's been 3 accidents this week alone.
Oh.
There was one on Monday, because Monday was also wicked badly back
Oh,
then.
but Monday I missed it because I went right to... No, wait, actually, no, I didn't because I almost was late to dance, which I was worried about. I've never been late on Mondays. I always get there early. But yeah, no, that one, I forgot about that one. I forgot that was this week. That's how life is going. And then it snowed yesterday.
Yeah, and there was an accident. I didn't get caught in it, but I saw it happen.
Yeah. Well, it's just in this snow was it wasn't necessarily that there was a lot, but it's so cold that this was more of the freezing snow, where everything is icy. So
you also had the people going 10 miles an hour in the fast lane, that were causing accidents.
Well, I I had to go down towards the airport yesterday, and I was surprised with how bad the roads were down there. Like I thought they would be like a lot better by the airport, but they like weren't very great.
No, it was
Um,
particularly good.
and like when I was leaving the airport area, when I came in, it was still light out, but when I was leaving, it was like dark out. And like there was points like at one point I was taking a turn and my car just went, wee! And then I just said okay, and I just went.
Yeah.
I did a little. I just was like, okay, don't panic. Even though in my head I was like, panic. But it was so icy and just they didn't do they didn't do a great job. I don't think they were expecting it to be as slick as it was going to be.
I don't think they were expecting it to come down as fast as it did.
No, yeah, it definitely came out of nowhere. But yep, just another day in Massachusetts, and today it was like bitter cold, like so cold. Like it didn't get over 20 today, which was nuts.
Yeah, today kind of sucked, but we're not going to get into that.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm going through the same thing, Bill. We already talked about it, but you know, there's other opportunities out there. You know, don't stress. Don't stress. Remember, Pooster's here. You can always say hi to her. She's kind of rude and unpleasant, but you can always say hi. I got you cookies. Were they good?
I've only had one of them so far.
Are they good? Was it a good cookie?
It's good. It was thick, so it's sitting in my stomach right now, and it's digestible.
Did you have any milk with the cookie?
No, because I need my milk for my cereal.
You gotta get more milk
this weekend, bro.
I don't know why I said it like that. Oh, Bill, you gotta go ShopRite. I'm sorry, but I'm sticking to only ShopRite for now on because
probably
the amount of money I spend at Big Y versus ShopRite, and I bought like about the same things, or even Geisler's. I bought about the same things. Oh my god! I usually spend like over $100 on groceries, and I spent under $100. I haven't done that in months. Yeah. So yeah, ShopRite all day, every day.
Yeah, I'll probably look into that this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going. So if you want to go with someone.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking I might go Saturday after nighttime, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. You'll outfigure it. Tilly's getting her nails did trim this weekend. I gotta double check when that appointment is, actually. I need to double check. Double check. Tilly's nail appointment.
But yeah. So
no, very important. I need to know.
Well, you do that. I'm going to introduce the topic.
No.
So for this episode, we're actually going to be doing another Games That Shaped Us, and this is a game that I remember pretty vividly from back in the day because we played the ever-loving hell out of it.
And it was a kid-friendly game, so we could play the ever-loving hell out of it.
Yeah, and it was a fairly competent kid-friendly game too, which made it even more impressive. Yes. But for anyone wondering, the game we're talking about is 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue, for the PC, PlayStation, Sega Dreamcast, and Game Boy Color, technically.
It was on the Game Boy Color?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different game, but same name. It's the same basic idea. You know, the days back when you'd get Game Boy Color versions and they were always like completely different games.
They were always garbage. Hot garbage.
Well, Digital Eclipse apparently
garbage
made it, so it might have been okay. So yeah, 102 Dalmatians. I'm sorry, full title: Disney's 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue.
I don't like his face. I really don't like Cruella's face on the cover of the game. I'm just gonna start it out with that.
This game is interesting to me. This game is 24 years old now. It came out in
what? That game's 24 years old?
Yeah, it came out in 2000.
What?
Yeah.
I'm 4 years older than it? What? Okay.
Yeah, so it came out in 2000, and it's a little...
Wait, am I 4 years older than it? I'm questioning everything now.
You're 27.
I don't know how old How old am I? How old are you?
You're just about 28, so you're just about 4 years older than it. Yes.
Okay, I can't do math. My brain hurts. Man.
That's fine. Mine's barely functioning today. Yeah. So this game is interesting to me because it's kind of confusing who developed it. When you boot the game up, it's Crystal Dynamics logo pops up, and it seems like Crystal Dynamics made it, but most accounts claim that Toys for Bob made it.
Oh.
Which I'm not sure, because Toys for Bob's logo I don't think appears during the startup at all.
Huh.
But like multiple accounts say Toys for Bob made this game. So I'm going to assume they didn't. Crystal Dynamics just paid for the right, or they stuck Crystal's name on it just for brand recognition.
Maybe.
And it was published by Eidos Interactive, who owns Crystal Dynamics, so maybe that's part of the reason why. Along with this distribution by Disney Interactive Studios before they were a full-time publisher. Yeah, and this game is weird because it's both based off of the 2000 the movie itself, 102 Dalmatians, which also released in 2000. Do you remember this movie?
No, I don't remember any of these. I mean, like, I know the basic plot is like Cruella de Vil wants to make a coat out of all puppy skin, but other than that, no, I don't really remember.
You know how people give like Disney shit for like making live action adaptations of all their properties now?
Uh-huh.
Well, they were doing that back in the 2000s because the original 101 Dalmatians live action film came out in 96.
When I was birthed.
Yeah. And it did pretty well. It was interesting because it starred Glenn Close as Cruella. And they made a sequel called 102 Dalmatians. This one also did well, but wasn't nearly as successful. It was considered a bomb because it didn't really make its budget back worldwide.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I remember watching it because it was like they hyped it up all the time, and they used to play it on Toon Disney all the time back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I really don't
like her face on the title, the cover of the game.
Yeah, well, because
very frightening.
So that's the thing here. This game is both based off of though it's extremely loosely based off of the film. Like barely any of it has to do with the film, aside from the name and the character and a couple characters. The rest of it is based directly off of the 90s television like cartoon.
Oh,
do you remember the 101 Dalmatians cartoon?
I feel like briefly, but I could not I remember it existing, but I couldn't tell you I couldn't describe a single episode to you at this point.
That was like the one where they moved out to the countryside because living in an apartment with 101 Dalmatians was stupid.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. So clearly this one's stuck in my brain. Nope.
You were a fetus then, so I mean, you probably just don't remember it.
I was fetal.
Yeah, that was on all the time back in the day on the Disney Channel. You probably remember seeing it, but you don't remember anything about it.
No, could not tell you a thing about it.
Yeah. But what makes this game interesting is it combines elements of the movie with that original cartoon series. So it's kind of this weird hybrid of sorts where you play the entire aesthetic comes from the cartoon, but like you play as like the two Dalmatians from the movie. Like the special unique ones that they made for marketing purposes, you know, the one with domino ears and then the one with
girl.
No spots. Yeah, the one with no spots.
the dominoes and then the girl one with no spots. She was a girl, right?
Yeah, I believe their names were Domino and Oddball. I think that was her name.
Huh.
There was also the third one named
rude.
There was a third one in the movie, but he didn't make it for this. So
Gerald didn't make it.
I don't remember what his name was. What?
Oh.
Your mic just gave up there. I did not hear a thing.
I said Gerald didn't make it, and I cried. Gerald's dead. That's what he made it sound like.
Sure. But yeah, so now going for the game itself. The game is Frankie Muniz played Domino. That's funny. That's interesting.
Fun fact, I guess.
You know, he's a NASCAR driver now.
He is?
Yeah.
Good for him, I guess.
he wanted to go race cars, so he's racing cars. Good for him.
Good for him.
Hey, he actually was.
Voice
He was
acting a dog to
no. He went from being Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, that's who he was.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He was Agent Cody Banks.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that one.
He was a lot of things.
I never saw the movie, but I always saw the commercial/trailer for it. But they never played the freaking movie.
So he actually did pretty good in NASCAR last year, like his few races. But oh my god, the broadcast booth was constantly making Malcolm in the Middle jokes every time he was driving.
I would have been so annoyed had I been him. I would have been like, shut the fuck up.
He was just living
a child.
He was just living the good life, to be honest. But that has nothing to do with this game aside from him voicing the main character.
What was the story of this game, I guess, then? I can't remember.
Cruella kidnaps all the Dalmatians. You have to go find them.
You gotta go find them before she skins them alive to make a coat? Is that
probably?
Really?
Basically.
Her goal in all the movies was that she wanted all the Dalmatian puppies to make a coat, right? She wanted like a Dalmatian
something like that.
coat. Like, what the fuck?
There's like, well, because they're all in like the final level of this game is literally like a factory where the dogs get encased in glue and then their fur gets removed. It's fucking weird. Yeah.
What the fuck? Is that what super glue is?
Yeah. It's some.
That's terrible.
Ironically, that's not how the movie went. The movie, it was more
there
like
was a dog named Dipstick.
Yeah, that Dipstick was the like,
don't people call people Dipstick or something?
I think that was the third dog.
No, that's the parent. Their parents, Donnie and
oh,
Dipstick.
Right.
I feel like Dipstick is an insult. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be saying it. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Yeah, but the plot is very basic.
I mean, is it like this lady's kidnapping puppies to cover them in glue and skin them alive? Like, what the hell?
That might be a bit of an exaggeration to how it actually is, but
right.
well, because literally your objective in the game is literally
gloop.
So the game's a 3D platformer with minor collectathon. So it's weird. It's like a collectathon, but it's also
You're collecting bones.
Kind of. So
in tokens. I feel like there's puppy tokens, right? Wasn't there like a puppy token?
Well, no, you had to find the dogs.
Oh, you had to collect the dogs before they turned into super gloop.
Well, they were all stuck in crates, and you had to break the crates open to free them.
Ah.
So it was like the levels were mostly linear. Like they had an endpoint, which was like a portal shaped like the 102 Dalmatians logo, and you would have to you'd have to find at least like 1 or 2, 3 dogs. It was kind of like Ape Escape in a sense, only you didn't they didn't fight back when you didn't have to fight them to catch them. You had to just find them, free them.
They just were like, thanks, I'm free.
Yeah.
Well, you did the opposite. You didn't catch them. You freed them.
Basically, yeah, that happens. But yeah. So you go through a bunch of different levels. There's secret items you can find, bones, all sorts of stuff like objectives. Each level's pretty small and easy to come through. Some of them are longer than others, and they're mostly pretty easy to platform through. Some of them are harder than others. The game controls very well for an early 2000s 3D platformer on PlayStation.
Yeah, I remember you being able to play it as a kid. So, like, I think that shows that it was like the right level of easiness for the audience, where that a kid could pick it up and play.
Yeah. Well, like, so the way I look at it is like back in the day, it would probably take us it took us probably like 4 months to beat this game. Nowadays, I can beat it in a day if I really wanted to.
And I will say, looking at the graphics, this game does not look that bad. I mean, like, it's definitely old, but like, and honestly, from like the screenshots I'm looking at, I think it's held up.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking game by any means, especially the Dreamcast port, which cleans it up even farther. But that's actually the way I play it now, because our old PS1 version doesn't work very well anymore. Unfortunately, we beat the shit out of that game.
Well, we played it. I mean, it shows how much we played it. You know, we did play it a lot.
It was almost constantly in our
Is the Dreamcast game? Do they also have Dalmatian print on the disc, or was that just the? Oh, that's awesome.
The Dreamcast version's identical. It just looks slightly cleaner. Plays the loads faster. Plays a little smoother. Basically, it was basically like the PC version. Yeah.
Nice.
I remember too, because you'd play a bunch of levels and then you'd get a boss fight. Like I remember one of them was literally Cruella in a helicopter, and you'd have to launch pineapples at her.
What?
On top of Big Ben.
On top of Big Ben. I need to look this up. I'm gonna look up boss.
There was pineapple catapults on Big Ben for some reason. Don't ask.
I mean, oh wait, that is. I don't think that's from the game. I hope this isn't from the game. Because why is her face like that? What does it look like that?
It's definitely not from the game.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, but like the first boss is.
She has like a tomato launcher too. A tomato launcher helicopter.
Yeah, I don't.
She's in a boat. They just put Cruella de Vil in any single weird little thing, and they were like, "All right."
Oh yeah, the boat boss. Like you have to throw watermelons at her at one point.
She's in a boat.
Yeah, yeah. The whole game is silly. Like it's very much like the show. It fits the vibe very well. There's fun too because there's like certain levels with Cruella's henchmen will appear, like including the two classic guys from
and they'll like try and catch you with nets.
Yeah, from the movies. And then
they need you for your coat.
There's also the one from 102 Dalmatians who was like, he was like a fashion guy, and he wore like cheetah print, and I think his name was like Lapelt or something. He would also appear. And what was fun is you would have to trick them into like you basically have to trick them into falling into a trap to get rid of them. Like I think in the first level, the tall lanky one, he chases you around, and you can actually lead him up to a bee's nest, and he'll whack the bee's nest, and then that'll get rid of him for the rest of the level.
He'll get like Animal Crossing. He'll get attacked by the swarm by the bees.
Pretty much. There's another level farther down where like the fat one is like chasing you, and you have to basically just remove a sewer grate, and then you make him fall down the sewer.
And he breaks all his bones.
No, he comes back later. In another level.
A cast?
No.
How did he not break any bones?
Cartoon logic. How did a dog lift the dogs lift the
how are the dogs doing anything that the dogs are doing in this game? You're right.
They have barks of steel. They lift the manholes off using barks alone.
Ooh, that was a thing?
Yeah.
Oh. See, I remember seeing this game, but I don't remember much of the gameplay because
so that was the
you
gimmick.
Were playing it.
all of Cruella's like toy like henchmen robots that she would make throughout the levels, they were weak to barking. Like the barks like damaged her.
That seems like quite a flaw for someone who wants to make a fur coat out of dogs.
Cruella wasn't the smartest.
Yeah, but she was very fashionable.
Well, it wasn't so much the barks, it was like high-pitched sounds or something, which I guess the dog barks counted as.
Ugh, they must have been yippers. Like, did you hear that?
But yeah, like you'd go through the levels, like some of them were funny too. Like I know the Lapelt guy, at one point, like you basically like have to make him fall into a sarcophagus, and there's like a tiny little hole that the dogs can get out from, but he's too big to get through. So you basically jump in the sarcophagus, and he jumps in it to catch you, and you've already snuck out by that point. He gets stuck in it.
Claustrophobia.
He also gets stuck in a tree, like a hollowed out tree trunk at one point, and then he walks around the level in the tree trunk still. Like, there's some goofy ass shit in this game.
That is silly. That is silly. Has pretty good rankings too from all the
Oh, it's a very, very solid game.
Yeah. No, yeah, I remember it wasn't a game that you ever gave up and quit doing when you were younger, and I feel like that's the true test because when you're younger, if you don't throw a temper tantrum and freak out over the game, it means it was good and it was leveled appropriately for the audience that it was made for.
I'm pretty sure I probably
children.
did. I'm probably sure I did get mad at this game multiple times though, because I guarantee when you're a kid you get so easily frustrated.
You finished it though. That's the thing, and you played it over and over and over.
The Big Ben level I know in particular was hard because you had to climb up the freaking pistons, and that was somewhat precise platforming.
Big Ben.
There was a level
there was a Stonehenge level.
Yeah, you had to knock over Stonehenge at one point. No, I think that was how you took out one of the henchmen. I think you had to make him knock over Stonehenge.
And then he got arrested for destroying a public landmark.
I think he got crushed by one of the rocks. Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Was he dead? He had to have been dead at that point.
One of my favorites is there's a mission where you're supposed to where you have to you're helping out at a farm, and one of the missions is you have to go hijack the tractor to knock over the outhouse because they just installed indoor plumbing, and then as you're knocking it over, you hear the wife of the house complaining that she doesn't like the new indoor plumbing and she wants to go back to the outhouse. Oops.
Who would even argue that? You're cuckoo.
I think it was a very stereotypical scene, let's just say.
What a time. Did they make any other 101 or Dalmatian games in general? Or was this the only one?
This was the only one like this, as far as I know. Because I believe, in terms of games, let's see. Yeah, the only other 101 Dalmatians games. So this was the final 101 Dalmatians game.
Oh, okay.
There was Dalmatian Print Studio.
Dalmatian
arts and crafts. You could do arts and crafts.
That sounds like a game for me.
There was the Disney animated storybook version of the game.
Okay, also fun game. Love that.
And there was apparently a game called 101 Dalmatians Escape from DeVille Manor. But this game is so obscure it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
Oh, I found something. It's on this game was based on the 1996 live action movie.
So the first live action.
Although the character designs were based on the animated film. The plot features 2 Dalmatian puppies, Patches, not to be confused with Patch, whoever the fuck Patch is, and Whizzer, in their adventures escaping captivity in Cruella DeVille's mansion.
Oh, this was a goofy PC game, and it looks...
This game...
It looks somewhat...
Perspective is from the point of views of the puppies, called Puppy Vision! You were played in Puppy Vision!
What the hell? There's an
evil... it's a puzzle game!
There's an evil furnace in this game.
Why not? But it was a puzzle game. It was just
straight up
controls.
There's some nightmare fuel in this game.
I'm trying to see. Was there some live action? Oh, it looks like they actually animated some scenes in this. Or those are stills, but
I think those are stills.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that game, but it looks somewhat frightening. In an uncanny in an uncanny way.
I need to Well, and they have to escape the mansion before they get turned into a goat.
Yeah, I'll stick to 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. At least that game's fun.
At least that game's fun and not scary. Are you scared?
No, that looks like a shitty PC game that won't work anymore. So
well, there was also 102 Dalmatians Activity Center. What's that?
Probably a waste of time.
Knock it off. It brings the beloved new generation of puppies to life. There are lots of spots of gameplay experiences that have something for everyone. It's arcade action.
You good there?
Well, I thought it was gonna list more things. And it just said arcade action. That was it. So I'm assuming it's arcade action. It looks like it's a bunch of mini games.
That probably makes a lot of sense.
Mini games.
Yeah, I'm doing more research and I still can't figure out who made this damn game.
Oh, the one we talked about? The one that shaped our childhood?
Yeah.
You're not a true fan then. No.
Well, no, it's every thing gives a different answer. It's either Crystal Dynamics or it's Toys for Bob. I'm not sure.
You know who it really was? Me. I did it. I made the game.
I'm sure you did.
As a 4-year-old, I made the game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much left to say about it though. It's a pretty basic game for the time.
But hey, solid. It was fun. I was actually just looking up just some people's thoughts on the game and their memories, and a lot of people, it looks like, look back on the game with the same fondness of oh, this was really fun for our childhood. It was a perfect.
Well, I'm thinking about it, and I was looking through it. I'm trying to think if there was a moment in this game that was generally bad, and I really can't think of one. So that's probably a good sign. If anything, I think there was maybe a carnival level that had some mini games that you had to play that was kind of annoying, but
yeah.
I don't think it was like Jimmy Neutron where you had to beat them. I think you just played them.
It was more of just I don't need to do this. I'm moving on to other things.
There wasn't a game ending moment, say there wasn't a mash the button puzzle early on that would get a kid stuck, or a pressure stage where you have to keep the meter at a certain point kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a weird gameplay thing that would just stop a kid in their tracks, basically.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, I remember it being very fun.
Yeah, I remember watching it and being very fun because Bill wouldn't let me play it.
No, you tried playing it and you got frustrated because you weren't good at platformers. Yeah.
No, I don't remember that. Stop bullying me. Bill's a bully. Bill,
you're the one that said in the past that this isn't your type of game.
Bill, this water is proudly sourced in Broadway Spring, Kingfield, White Cedar Spring, Dallas, Evergreen Spring in Freiburg, and Bill, don't forget, this cap is a small part and it poses as a choking hazard, particularly for people named William Marmor.
Oh well.
Named Bill. It's in the fine print. There's no nutrition facts though. Why didn't they put the facts? I need to know this is 0 calories. What is that? What is that? What are you drinking, Bill?
A green tea.
A green tea by who? Who made it? What are the facts? How many calories? Tell me at least who made it. Who made it?
It's by a brand named Steez.
Green tea Steez? Steez nuts.
So, out of all the games that we've chatted about from our childhood, this is, I think, one of the better ones overall. I didn't get it.
You said Steez, and then went Steez nuts.
Oh, you said it so dramatic that it didn't even go through, and I didn't even hear it. So, did you just referenced the D's nuts guy, who I think is broken homeless now, from what I've heard.
Oh, that's so sad.
I've heard he's not doing well. Let's just say.
Hey, Bill, I just want to let you know that your drink, it's simple, natural, purely brewed green tea combined with real. I looked up the facts. They Contains 65 milligrams of natural caffeine. 12 cans per can.
Yeah. But yeah, so other than that though, not a whole lot to add. This game is a very well-made game in a lot of ways, and honestly, it's
and I ruined it. And I ruined the game.
It's a kids game that I feel like was perfect for the time and has held up incredibly well.
Yes.
To the point where I don't even know if kids game is really the right name because it's just a good game.
A nostalgic game. A good game for the time being.
But yeah, kind of a short episode this time around. I mean, it was a crappy day, so that's probably
Bill had a bad day, and I ruined it by doing a decent nuts joke.
Yeah.
I can see Bill's you guys can't see it, but I can see the ticking time bomb of annoyance above his head, and it's gonna blow any seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, you signed up for me to be your co-host on this podcast. This was in the fine print. You knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Accept your fate.
But yeah. So, anyways, guys, once again, thanks for joining us on the gaming.
Wait.
What?
Everyone, send Bill some nice well wishes. And
3 weeks from now, because that's when this is gonna.
It will still count, okay? He's having a bad day, but tell him that he's great and that he's great. Tell him that you all love the podcast, and please keep listening. Anyway, and you know what? Just because you're having a bad day, I won't interrupt you through the rest of your outro. I promise. I won't do anything weird at the end either. I'll be silent for the rest of the episode just because you're having a bad day. Continue.
So, as I was saying, once again, guys, thanks for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. Gaming and Collecting Podcast can be found on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. We're also now available on YouTube. And if you'd like, you can find all of our links at linktree/thebarberwhogames. And you can come join us over at the GNC Podcast Network Discord server. We talk about GNC, 3DO, Geek Addicts, gaming, anime, and all sorts of things. Alex is literally about to explode right now because she's holding in her insanity at the moment. And I didn't even hear what she said, but with that, everybody, we'll see you all later.
No, I refuse. I'm not saying goodbye. Never.
Well, no. No one cares that much.
ASMR, yes, they care. All right, Bill, just try it one time. Just do one little ASMR hi. Just go hi.
No.